Hello, and welcome to Car Show, the one place where we don't just look at the specs, we tell the stories behind the machines that change the world. If you believe that a car can be more than just metal, if you believe it can be a rolling piece of science fiction, then please take a second to click that subscribe button. You are not going to want to miss what we have for you today, or ever. What you're looking at is not a concept car. It is not a design study, nor is it a digital render from a movie. This is a photograph of a production-ready, paradigm-shifting, physics-defying machine. This is the Vortex GT-One, known by the internal code name that has now become its legend, the Gravity Bender. For the last 20 years, the hypercar world has been in a wonderful, glorious rut. The formula has been set: more power, less weight, and more aggressive aerodynamics. We've seen engines swell to 16 cylinders, hybrid systems pulled from Formula One, and wings large enough to embarrass a Cessna. The result has been astonishing speed, but it has all been an exercise in evolution. We have been perfecting the same idea that has existed for 100 years: a combustion engine, 4 rubber tires, and the art of forcing air to push that car into the ground. It is a game of diminishing returns, a battle of brute force against the fundamental laws of physics. And then, Vortex decided to stop fighting the laws and simply rewrite them. To understand the GT-One, you must first forget the Vortex you think you know, the small French firm building lightweight track toys. This is not them. This is the Vortex Skunk Works, a secretive, autonomous R&D division based in a nondescript industrial park in the Austrian Alps. Funded by a consortium of aerospace and tech billionaires who had grown bored with the hypercar world. Their directive was not to build a car. It was to solve the problem of cornering. The project was led by a reclusive engineering genius named Dr. Eris Thorne, a man who had left a lucrative career in particle physics because he found it too predictable. Thorne saw the limitations of modern performance in 2 simple facts. A tire, no matter the compound, can only provide a finite amount of mechanical grip, and an aerodynamic wing, no matter the size, provides 0 downforce when the car is moving slowly. The very act of cornering, where a car must slow down, is the moment it becomes least effective. "We are battling physics with glorified kites," he famously wrote in his project brief. "We must stop relying on the reaction to speed and instead create a proactive state of grip. We will not manage gravity. We will bend it." And so, the Gravity Bender project was born. The result, after 6 years of secret development, is the car you see in this image. It is a machine that generates more downforce sitting at a stoplight than a Formula One car generates at 150 miles per hour. Let's talk about the facts, because they are staggering. Look at the image, specifically at the glowing blue pads beneath the chassis. Those are not underglow for a car show. Those are the heart of the entire system. They are positronic grip emitters, PGEs. This is not magnetism. It is not a fan car like the Chaparral 2J. This is something entirely new. The PGEs are a series of superconducting plates that, when activated, generate a focused, high-energy particle field that interacts with the asphalt at a submolecular level. In layman's terms, it temporarily excites the molecular bonds in the road surface and the tire, creating a synthetic coefficient of friction that is magnitudes higher than what rubber and asphalt can achieve alone. It is, quite literally, forcing the road to hold onto the car. The facts of this system are almost nonsensical. The PGEs generate a stable, consistent 1,500 kilograms, 307 pounds, of synthetic downforce the moment the system is active. This downforce is present at 1 mph, 50 mph, and 200 mph. It is independent of speed. This means the car does not need a wing. Look at the bodywork. It is a study in laminar flow, designed to slice through the air with the lowest possible drag, because it does not need to spoil the air to create grip. The active rear flaps you see are for high-speed stability and air braking, not for downforce. This system allows the GT-One to achieve cornering forces that were previously thought to be physically impossible for a road-going vehicle. While the greatest road cars in the world are celebrating their ability to pull 2.0 G in a corner, the GT-One can sustain a brain-melting 3.5 Gs of lateral acceleration. It is a cornering force that required Vortex to completely redesign the oil and fuel delivery systems to prevent starvation, and it requires its drivers to undergo high-G training. Much like a fighter pilot, a system this revolutionary required an equally revolutionary powertrain. A V12 was too heavy. A pure EV battery pack was too heavy and would fade. Dr. Thorne needed something with the lightweight, compact power density of a jet engine. The solution is the Surge Core VH2 turbine. Housed deep in the carbon monocoque chassis is a 2.0-liter, twin-stage hydrogen-powered microturbine. It does not drive the wheels. Instead, it spins at a near-silent 150,000 RPM, acting as a high-output generator. This turbine produces a constant 900 kilowatts, 1,205 horsepower of electrical energy, which it feeds to a small, liquid-cooled buffer battery and 4 massive axial flux electric motors, one mounted at each wheel. The total combined system output is a staggering 1,800 horsepower and an instantaneous 2,500 newton-meters, 1,843 lb-ft of torque. The 0-60 mph time is almost irrelevant, as it's a simple function of traction. Vortex lists it at 2.0 seconds. The top speed is in excess of 270 mph, but the GT-One is not about 0-60, it is about 0 to 200, and it is about corners. The true metric of its performance is this. It can accelerate from 0 to 100 mph and brake back to a dead stop in less than 6 seconds. Now, look at the image again, at the thin red lines shooting from the taillights. Those are not special effects. They are part of the car's central nervous system, the auroral lidar, aura lidar. This system is a predictive rather than reactive traction control. The lasers scan the road surface hundreds of times per second, mapping every millimeter of the pavement ahead. It analyzes temperature, moisture, texture, and even chemical composition. This data is fed into the Vortex AI core, which then preemptively adjusts the torque split between the 4 motors and modulates the power of the positronic grip emitters before the car ever hits that patch of road. If it detects a small patch of oil, the system will have already rerouted power and activated the PGEs on the other 3 wheels before the driver even knows the hazard exists. The story of the GT-One's debut has already become the stuff of legend in the automotive world. It did not appear at the Geneva Motor Show. It appeared on a cold, foggy Tuesday at the Nürburgring Nordschleife during an industry-only test day. Engineers from Porsche, Ferrari, and Koenigsegg were all present, testing their own multi-million-dollar creations. Then the Vortex GT-One rolled out of a plain, unmarked trailer. It was silent, hissing like a jet, and it had no rear wing. The engineers from the other teams were baffled, some even openly laughing. It looked naked, unfinished. The GT-One began its warm-up lap, and then it simply vanished. The observers at the carousel, the famous banked corner that forces even race cars to slow to a crawl, reported something impossible. The GT-One didn't slow down. It didn't use the banking. It stayed on the flat, inner part of the track and took the corner at a speed that defied physics. The blue glow from under its chassis, the only sign it was still on the ground. The car didn't roar. It produced a unique, high-frequency shriek that sounded like the air itself was being torn apart. When the final lap time came in, the laughter stopped. The track was silent. The official record at the time, held by a modified Porsche GT2 RS, was 6 minutes and 43 seconds. The Vortex GT-One had just run a fully verified 4 minutes and 52 seconds. It was not just a new record. It was an invalidation of every record that had come before. It was so fast that the Nürburgring's governing body temporarily banned it, claiming it was no longer a car, but an experimental ground vehicle. The Gravity Bender nickname was no longer an internal joke. It was a fact. The car in this image is Chassis 001, the first of a planned production run of just 25 units for the entire world. The price is a staggering $10 million. Buyers are not owners. They are custodians. They must pass a rigorous psychological and physical screening, including the aforementioned high G training, to even be considered. The interior is not a place of luxury. It is a cockpit of pure function. There is no leather, no infotainment, no stereo. The dashboard is a holographic projector that displays the Aura LiDAR's telemetry data directly onto the windshield. The seats are carbon fiber pods molded perfectly to the custodian's body. This is the Vortex GT-One. It is the end of the hypercar as we know it, and the beginning of something new, something almost terrifying. It's a car that doesn't just stick to the road, it forces the road to stick to it. It is the physical manifestation of a single brilliant question: what if? It is, in every sense of the word, a true gravity bender, a machine that has single-handedly pushed the boundaries of human engineering into the realm of science fiction. Thank you for joining us on Car Show for this incredible look into the future. Best wishes and safe panels. Sure. Best wishes and safe panels.